That's a really long fade. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Shenanigoons.
Hello.
God damn it, Logan! Get off the graphic.
We are
You
the thiest podcast turn stream that ever thud anywhere in the verse.
She's gonna kill you.
You drop
Just a
that
little
article, or so help me, I will march to California and bop you on the face. I'll bop you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here for our kind of our introduction episode. This is going to have a little recap of where we're at in the podcast. The now ended podcast. We just released our last episode of that for the podcast only portion, as we're going to possibly or more likely turn this show into a podcast. But that is the edited, full, beautiful, wonderful version of it. Now, in exchange of all that amazing editing, you get our faces, and I'm sorry, I know that's a loss. But all right.
But weekly shows is
get my
the
face
important part.
But weekly shows as opposed to once
true.
every
Except for this time.
year.
We have we have two exceptions to that, though, but we will explain them later.
Well, this is the introduction episode. This is the teaser. We're gonna introduce the characters a little bit, learn a little bit about them and their backstory, and then in 3 weeks, we're gonna come back and we're gonna have our first episode, our first serious, our first long full episode, and we will start from there, doing pretty much weekly if there's no other long, full, hard episodes.
Oh,
3
yeah.
hours.
Oh,
They
I'm
can
not
go for
laughing
3
at
hours.
that. I'm laughing at Zach and
Zach in chat.
calling him Mike Bieber.
It's Arthur.
We already said that Arthur is a pretty boy. He looks like a boy band member, and Mike is just fully realizing it. That's all.
Yep.
The real problem is going to be when Mike gets hot and he takes it off to like scratch his head. It's going to be
Mike's
really
hot.
upsetting. Like, oh, I'm sweating. Oh God, Arthur.
I said you should just leave it off and then just use the overlay, one of those little little hair things.
The
They have a
redhead
Bieber.
one. It's the redhead
We'll do
one.
that as a bonus
We'll do that.
content.
We'll do that as bonus content. Only subscribers will learn. We'll get to know that.
The
When
joke
we say
is that
subscribers, we mean supporters through the Nerdsmith now.
Yes, indeed.
That's a whole other thing we need to talk about. We got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
What are we doing
Let's start by
here?
talking about our sponsors. Let's talk about the amazing people that
Yay!
support this show and support all sorts of shows. We have World Anvil, which is one of our absolute favorite sponsors out there. They are the most robust world building and campaign management software that exists. And that's no lie, because they have 200,000 active users. So you should take a look at them. I think their logo is gigantically huge up there in
As
a second
it
here. It'll come in.
deserves to be.
And it's exploding out of its thing. It's not coming
World
out of it.
Anvil
Is it
cannot be
just-
contained in a box.
That's true.
No,
Where
they're
is it?
too awesome.
Is it not cycling?
No, it's
I
cycling.
I don't
It
know.
wasn't
Right
it?
now I
Okay,
see Die Hard up.
Yeah, it's cycling. It's fine.
Okay, there we go. Yes,
Don't
there we
worry
go.
about
Okay, they're just barely. They're like just holding it together. It's very hard to contain an anvil.
There we go.
So there's World Anvil. Go to worldanvil.com to take a look at all the amazing things that they can offer you. If you're looking to build a world, you're building a campaign, you want to run a campaign, or if you just want to write a book. It actually was originally designed as novel writing software for his wife, and then he realized he could use it himself, and then expanded it, and then never stopped expanding it. And I know that they now do this full time as their job because of an amazing community, and many of you are part of that community, and so are we. And we like that.
Indeed, you do.
And then after that, we're going to talk about Nerdsmith. Nerdsmith.org is our network. This is a Nerdsmith show. We are the ones producing it, and we are the ones who run it. Actually, this is us. We're the ones who run it.
Yep.
I forgot. That's amazing.
So you know what that
tired.
means? It's business time.
It's business time.
Business time.
Sorry, Kyle. We didn't tell
That's
you it
why
was
they
that
call
kind of
them
stream.
business socks.
I'm wearing my flip flops.
On the balls.
I came unprepared.
Uh,
Literally.
Hey.
Open-toed shoot is at the office. Kyle.
Flip Flop Tuesday.
Oh
no,
no.
they're steel-toed flip-flop.
Oh.
What? No.
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 They call them kicking stocks.
Damn
That's
it,
good.
Kyle.
Holy hell.
All right.
Wait. Did the institute that we work for come out with a line of hippie wear? Birchenstocks?
The virgin
They're made
stocks.
exclusively
Yeah.
out of ironwood.
Yes.
Are you okay over there, Tess?
Yeah, I'm
Are we not getting
having.
enough subs? Is that what you're telling
No, I'm trying to pull it back up because my undergarments are showing, so I was trying to fix it so they weren't.
It's
But thank you for
Twitch. can
calling.
you can get
Is that better? Now more subs? Is that better?
Oh
it.
boy.
You're gonna get us kicked off Twitch.
Right?
Just when we're about to maybe make partners sometime in the next 3 years.
I mean, we are.
alright.
Are we marked as a mature stream? If I'm
Yeah,
right,
sure.
we
I
are.
hope so.
Okay.
The entire channel is marked as a mature.
Fennec, don't
That's
throw
good.
people at the
You
screen.
don't throw. Well, I mean, they are subs. Maybe. Never mind. All right. So
Maybe they asked for it. I don't
maybe
know.
they did. Maybe that's what. Maybe that's what they're into. Don't kink shame them.
I'm sorry.
This is a very
Highly
different show.
unflattering.
This is a very different show than Countless Heroes. In case you couldn't tell, this is
Oddly,
the
very
entirety of the
similar
cast
show.
for this show, and we're going to be doing it weekly instead of 5 nights a week. And this is us in our relaxed sort of element. So you're going to see us kind of raw and unfiltered sometimes. We're going to play some D&D at some point, but I wanted to make sure we got to our last sponsor, Die Hard Dice, which we didn't talk about Nerdsmith for shit, but that's okay. We'll move on. Let's talk about Die
We
Hard
are
Dice.
Nerdsmith.
We
What
are
are we
Nerdsmith,
talking
Yeah, that's
and so
true.
are you if you want to be. And then
Yes.
Die Hard Dice. Before I forget again, let's talk about Die Hard Dice and all the amazing dice that they create. If you are familiar with the dice industry at all, as in you may have bought some dice, you may have heard of several of these companies, but let me tell you that Die Hard Dice is the best. Why? Because they make all their own dice, they make their own sets. They design them from the ground up. They 3D print out the basics. They send that off to be molded. They are just incredible, and they work very closely with their manufacturers to make sure that things stay in-house. And goodbye.
Oh no.
Sorry.
It wasn't
me!
you.
It wasn't
All
me.
right.
Do we have to?
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Hold on.
Mike,
no.
you stay there.
Sorry.
Everybody else leave.
Okay. Ready?
We'll have to fix this in a second.
Who's
And
then
behind
Heather-
the wheel?
Heather can come in, and then Tessa
Sorry.
can come in, and then Kyle can come in. I think I have that backwards. And then Angela can come in.
Here's a story about a lovely
I had it.
podcast.
Perfect.
Sorry.
And that's what we have to do because we don't have the little thing set up inside
So
the
what
thingy.
is it? What is it you did? What is it you did, Heather? What's the technical term for that
I
maneuver
was
you
trying
just
to
pulled?
Pulling an Angela.
Yeah, is that what that's
Because Heather's
called?
only done it
I believe
once.
you coined a phrase for that.
I did. Yeah.
And now we have a
I
nice,
didn't-
easy way to talk about it. I think that was perfect. Heather, good job.
I admit it, and I haven't
Coining
changed
phrases
any.
at the expense.
I haven't changed my behavior
Co-
at all.
Coining phrases at the expenses of other is called pulling a Heather.
Mhm. Yes, it is.
Okay, that's fair.
All right, so go to dieharddice.com. Take a look at all the amazing dice over there. Buy some dice. They're amazing. They're awesome. They're wonderful. You can go and see. If you would like to make a purchase, you can use the coupon code
we have
Goonies.
one?
I think.
Goonies.
Goonies.
Is it Goonies?
'Cause
Okay.
Goonies never say die.
You can. Goonies never. Oh, I like that.
Except when it's dice.
That,
That's true.
except when it's a singular dice.
Unless
Uh,
it's hard. We say that.
That's true.
if it's hard. Well, yeah, we
Die
do say
hard.
die if
You
it's
die.
hard.
You
Yes.
say die when it's hard.
When it is, yeah, when it's hard,
Fucking hell.
we say die. Sometimes when it's soft, we say die too. All right.
Oh man, this is just. Yep, this is a Goonies
welcome
episode.
to Shenanigoons. Sorry.
So
If this
anybody
isn't for
who's
you,
hearing
we
this tone,
understand.
We're gonna edit this
Can I
out
just-
before it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah,
all this
I'm
is
just
the
gonna
editing
edit it
out.
in
Yeah,
post.
sure.
It's
We're gonna
fine.
edit this out of your brain. We have that technology.
No one's ever gonna hear this.
No, it'll be fine.
No one is watching live at all. Yeah.
So at some point, I'm gonna open my audio editor tonight to finish the final of our official podcast episodes,
Yes.
and just like look longingly at the neatly cropped moments of, oh, there's my bookmark that said we talked about pricing for 20 minutes. I can just get rid of that. And can't do it now.
Nope. We got really good towards the end
We
too.
did.
Yeah.
All going out the shit down the
Oh,
shitter.
it's all gone. But we have 3 hours to fill tonight. You know,
That's
that's
true.
such a long time here. We could do a lot of things. And what is with this Kyle on Kyle love over here?
There's nothing
know.
wrong with
There's nothing wrong
Kyle
with Kyle
love.
love.
I don't understand what's going on.
'Cause it's Kylo.
Oh yes, very very astute. We have an emergency party fund. Let's talk about our stuff. So we got an emergency party fund. So every bit that's donated, because we didn't want to, we're pushing a lot of our stuff through the donations, which is the tip this show with the button below that Angela came up with down
You
in the
gotta
down
sub.
below. But we didn't want to make people who wanted to give bit.
You know how tiring that's gonna get the 50th
Nope.
time?
Never.
No.
It will never be
50
tiring ever.
subscribers? No, it will not be tiring.
No, listen. I think the point should be
Is it too quiet? It needs to be louder, right?
It's a little, yeah, I think it, needs to
does
be a little louder.
if it's louder, the moment you hear it, you need to stop talking so that we're not talking over the singing.
I did. I stopped as soon as I started hearing it. That's why it needs to be louder.
Okay.
It is quieter to me
Gotcha.
than it is to you.
Gotcha. Okay. We have to enjoy our melodious. Thank you.
The audience is clamoring for louder, so yes, is what
I
I'm
agree.
Gabby
I'm
saying
working
it's our electro swing.
Yes.
Except we're getting paid. Oh no, we got paid for that too.
We didn't get paid for it. Although we should thank our wonderful singer Matthew Siebert for
Yes,
coming
thank
up with
you,
that.
Matthew.
It was hilarious. And I
He
believe the
decided
words were
to
written
put
by
melodies.
Heather and Tessa, or just
It
Heather?
was
I
me
think
and
it's-
well, I
Heather
wrote
and
the
Angela.
original, but then Ange and I reworded it.
Yeah. And then Matthew, with no knowledge of it, went, "Here's a melody."
I love it.
it was good.
Um,
So yeah, we have stuff on. So we
so,
have
yeah, we
emergency
have a
party
lot
Okay,
of,
fund.
so
Yep.
emergency
Yeah.
party fund. So, and if you give bits, every bit is 1 copper in the party fund. We'll reset that every time. We'll add it up. And then let's see here. Down below, you can see the tip us and tip the scale. So we have 4 different options for tipping the show. There's a $10 option, which will gift a reroll to 1 player. So just type out which player you want when you do that. And that allows them to use a reroll at any time on any roll of theirs. I'm not going to say that they can affect my rolls just yet, but we might get there. The Wheel of Causality, which is a completely ripped off term. And we're not going to be singing the song because we'll get sued, but we might sing it once or twice an episode. The
We love that you've subscribed. You've tuned into Shenanigans and no one here was bribed. Mayhem, magic, mystery is usually the vibe. Again, we are Shenanigoons. You're awesome. You subscribed.
Love it. Perfect. We love you, Matthew.
Why do I feel like that thank you was, it had an exclamation point, but there might have been some salt couched in that.
I love it. I love it.
Anyway, so yeah, we have
So,
things that you
so
can tip.
Wheel of Causality, we have not built it yet, but it will be an actual spinning wheel that'll pop up on the screen. And it is sort of like a wild magic surge. There's a lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of immediate effects. Some of the effects are going to include things like turning into a sheep for a round, or growing up to 1d10 inches, or shrinking 1d10 inches, which are actually standard things that can happen. And there's a lot of other stuff. We got a bunch of stuff. If you have any suggestions, we'd love to hear them. And we'll probably change and grow that as it goes. Just understand that you need to pick 1 player or NPC. You can have it affect anybody. That it's not going to be a full wild magic surge. It's not going to be people blowing up into fireballs and things, so we won't be able to kill the party with it. But there's supposed to be a lot of fun, goofy little things. Then next we've got introduce an NPC.
Killing
We
the
stole
party
this one
to us.
But
Yeah, leave the TPKs to us.
Yeah,
we'll do that on our own.
We don't really need.
We can handle that.
which episode was the tiger?
We don't talk about the tiger, Logan.
Okay.
Or the
Introduce
snail,
an NPC.
or the train.
we stole.
Bad.
Oh no!
See, you gotta go listen to the podcast now. Introduce an NPC. So this one we're stealing and we're trying. We may change this one later. We stole this from Perception Studios. We loved it. Basically, you at any time, any place, anywhere can introduce an NPC. You just give us the name and a very brief description, and I'll handle the rest from there. But it's going to be you don't get to control exactly what happens with the NPC, but you're absolutely welcome to introduce an NPC at any time. And what did I just miss?
How dare you, Kyle? How
It's in
dare
the chat.
Which
$25 to bring back the tiger.
Oh my god. No, you
No.
can't bring NPCs back. You can only introduce new NPCs.
Kyle, when you say things like "bring back the tiger," there'll be like a 5% of people that'll just put a Rakshasa in the game. So you gotta watch
I was gonna say.
yourself.
That's
Again,
fair, actually.
Yeah. but again, understand I may not do exactly what you want with that NPC. The last one is called Time Stop. So this one was inspired by our friends over at Perception Studio, but we don't. We're not quite stealing exactly what they did. They give DM powers to one of the players for a full minute. Now it works for them because their players are puppets. So it's much goofier than we're going to be, if you can think that's possible. So what we've done is we've done what's called Time Stop. So for $50, you can give one player a time stop, which will allow them to step out of time and accomplish out of combat some thing. Like, you know, if they happen to leave a very important item behind 1,000 miles away, they can pull out of time. They can walk the 1,000 miles, grab the item, and walk back. So it gives them a little
quite a
minor sort of DM thing. And in combat, it literally will give them a time stop. It'll give them 4 rounds out of combat, which they can do anything except attack or damage the opponents. They can heal their allies. They can go around tying shoes together. They can pretty much do anything they want. It's their job to be creative with it. So that is it. Those are the clutch moments when there's something really important. But you give it to one particular PC, and you go from there. So we'll see what happens with all of that. We hope it'll be good. And so that's our 4 things there. Then what else do we have?
Those are the big ones.
Our alerts. We've got our alerts that'll pop up and do different things. We didn't put a dungeon boss this time around, although we could squeeze it in if we needed to, but I think we're good right now. I think we're good with this.
I think we have enough chaos to deal with that.
Chaos
Yeah,
right
I
now.
think we have enough chaos. I agree.
But yeah, so you
There's
can do all that donations. That's not through Twitch. That's through Streamlabs, which you go to underneath
Yeah.
the video.
Mm.
Tip this show is what you would click to do any of those donations.
Yep. But not today. We don't have any of them prepared. We're not going to be doing any of those today. It will
if
be
you
starting on our
happen to
first
do
episode
it-
next time.
If
If you
happen
want to
do
make a
it.
donation, we will bank it and we will use it in the first episode the first major episode or full episode we put out. April, the very last day of our sub drive.
Mm-hmm. April 30th.
Mhm.
Yeah, April 30th, the very last day of our sub drive. All right, I think that's all that we need to talk about. So, are you guys ready to go into the Shenanigoons world?
Let's do it.
I think so.
I think I'm ready to go into the Shenanigoons world. You guys want to see something cool?
Yeah,
I
let's see
would love
something cool.
All right, let's take a look at something cool. We'll be right back.
$35 clips to
Come
use.
All right. What'd you think of that? Thank you, Angela, so much. That was
Heck
amazing.
yeah, it was my pleasure.
Woo!
It was
And
awesome.
I don't, if you didn't see the one earlier today for the Final Rites, you should go watch that show as
Go
well.
watch it.
They are this and that are going to be the 2 hottest new shows on this network. They are just incredible.
Not
So,
to toot our own
um,
horn.
not to toot our own horn. I'm tooting your horn. I'm not tooting mine.
$5?
Hey now.
$5? Oh, yeah, well. It all comes out in the wash.
Yeah, it's true.
Unless the towels are just that.
No!
Okay, stop there.
God damn it.
You can't reference shows that haven't even aired yet, Kyle.
They
That's
have
one.
aired. It aired this morning.
Oh, crap. It's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, if you listen to WND radio this morning, I'm sorry.
So am
Please don't. Don't listen to this
Please
episode. Just skip this.
forgive them.
It is also the most downloaded episode we've had yet, I think, at this point. So, sorry.
Well, didn't you
Or
title
maybe
it
that's-
Why
they
Am
just
I
want more.
Sticky?
I did.
Why am I
title it
sticky?
one.
Yeah, the name
Yeah.
is Why Am I Sticky? and even though it was a 2-1 vote on how much we would cut out, so yeah, Mon Radio was really bad.
So we're
Anyway,
totally in character
we're supposed to
now.
be talking about that. We're
Yes.
supposed not in character. We're supposed to be talking about the recap. So what's happened up till now? We need a little backstory to this world. And Angela, I think you're a little too excited. Calm down there, Ravenclaw. Let's go and move over to where's my
Excuse
Hufflepuff?
me, Hermione was Gryffindor and she was know-it-all too.
Yeah, but the Ravenclaws were the ones that actually do it all. All right, go ahead, Angela. What do you got?
Sorry,
That's
as a
for my wife,
Ravenclaw, I
sorry.
really shouldn't bitch. I have a hat somewhere. All right, so we are based in the city of Ashport. I'm not going to do the intro.
City of mystery,
City on the
of
brink.
excitement.
The brink of something. So we were based in the port city of Ashport. You'd hope it was a port city. And it's sort of a
It's on the top of a mountain.
it's sort of an industrial fantasy world. It's got a bit of Victorian, got a bit of high fantasy in it, that sort of thing.
What world is it in?
It's in the world of Vale, the same as Countless Heroes. It's just on the other continent rather than the continent of what's Countless Heroes? Aruna?
I love silence from the
Aruna.
entire crew.
Aruna.
It's
Continent of
Aruna.
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 I was
we
giving
are-
her a chance to remember, Logan. God.
We are on the
And
continent.
Angela's internally screaming, saying, "Don't give me a chance to remember." Just somebody
Let the
blurt it
captain
out,
take
please.
care
Uh,
Save me.
Rather, we are on the continent of Valdara, which is across the way. And anybody who watches Countless Heroes might be aware that the Birchfield Institute is an organization on that continent, specifically based in Ashport. And over the course of the first arc that we ran in our podcast, we became members of the Birchfield Institute's adventuring arm. Let's call them the adventuring department, called Proctors. Proctors seek out magical artifacts and bring them back to the Institute for safekeeping and research. We were hired initially as a sort of sub proctor called a fetcher. We basically were a gopher to go do shady stuff that the Birchfield didn't want people to know they were involved in.
It was on a
and-
trial basis.
Yeah, it was like a probation.
Yeah.
And we went to we robbed a house, we killed a flump, we stole a bunch of shit, and including a painting that ended up having a portion of a map on it. And we found out through getting it appraised through a fence and talking, and I think doing a little research too. We ended up discovering that it was something called the
Conversation of Deceit.
Yes, the Conversation of Deceit, of which there were several paintings called the Conversation of blank. And so we set about telling the Institute that we found out about these items. The Conversation of Deceit part of the map actually had a like X marks the spot thing on it. So we actually were able to determine that it went to something called the Elemental Grimoire. And so we talked to the Birchfield. We said, hey, we think we have part of a map to go to this place for something that sounds exciting. And we were sent on a mission. Yes, one other mission to acquire the rest of the paintings for the rest of the map. That was a train ride.
Train wreck.
And a train wreck. But not the mission itself. We did successfully acquire the paintings. When we put them all together, we were able to determine potentially that it was somewhere in the Underdark. So we were going to have to find an entrance to the Underdark. What else in general, broad strokes? Does anyone want to pick up from there? That we knew we had to go to the Underdark, or should I just keep going?
No, I can pick up if you want.
Go ahead.
So we knew
Broad
we
stroke.
had to go to the Underdark, but we had to find the location. Through a couple of trials and errors, we eventually found our pathway that was, much to Bonnie's delight, hidden behind a waterfall, just like in the stories.
never lie.
So we went down into the Underdark, and we had to go through several different sections. The first one was Smushton, which is a goblin town. We met Pugnut, who's amazing, and we love him. We helped them with a couple of problems with a big creature called a pinch run.
A pinch run.
Yeah. And then we
That's
continued
what you
further
said. You go,
on.
pinch, run.
Yep, that.
Thank you, Pugnut.
You're welcome.
And then we traveled further into the Underdark and went through the Canyon of Fur. Skirted around a couple of giants and met Abe's the bugbear and his companion Nugget.
Nugget.
Who I forget what Nugget was.
He was like
That
a
was
bull.
Nugget.
He was a spider bulldog thing. Like
That's right.
It's like a combination rat and deer.
Like the dog that has the spider suit on that you see running around in YouTube videos.
It was like a
Exactly. That's
bull
what I imagined.
So we continued further in. We had to go through the whaling cairns and avoid a bunch of bugs that would have utterly destroyed us. Continued on further, and we ran. Abe's also told us that there were other Birchfield people down here. He'd seen the pin on another person.
We'll explain the pin in a bit.
Yes. And continuing further on, we ran into one of them. He actually died in front of us, and unfortunately, Val couldn't save him. And we found out that there were drow down here. Bonnie disguised herself as a female drow, and we were able to sort of infiltrate and pretend that the rest of us were her servants. We had to go through a maze. There was a beholder type of creature we had to give stuff to. Then we got to a drow city and had to hide.
Lanier. How the fuck did I remember that?
Yeah, we had to hide until we could figure out how to sneak our way in to get the book. Bonnie pretended to be a female drow, and they tried to bring her into the priestess hood. And so while that was going on, other people stole the book. We escaped on a bunch of flying dire bats. Also ended up freeing a couple of the Birchfield people who'd been taken there as prisoner. And Kyle, you had something to add in.
The book was actually 3 volumes of a single thing, so it was all 3 books were the grimoire.
Yes, that's right. So we got the elemental grimoire and made our way back on the bats, saw Abe's again, continued on, saw Pugnut again, and then went back up to the Birchfield and gave them the books. Although we did debate whether to give them the books because we flipped through them a little to figure out exactly what they talked about. If I'm remembering correctly, the first volume was kind of basic knowledge about elemental magic. The second volume was more in-depth knowledge and a little bit of information on the elemental planes. And then the third book was actually a lot of information on the elemental planes and how to connect to them.
Theoretical information about how to travel and traverse the planes and connect them together.
Yeah, so we were debating whether or not to end up giving them those books because it seemed we were concerned.
I wasn't debating that hard, but other people were debating, sure.
Yeah. And that's pretty much where we left off.
The only other thing of note was that in the whole tumult, a house exploded that contained all of Bonnie and Merrick's personal effects.
Yeah,
So-
that was
Oh, yeah.
kind of shitty.
We had
Yeah,
to
that
spend a
didn't
little
work out.
time, which you can hear about in the podcast episode that'll come out this week. We spent a little time replacing their stuff.
Just a little. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes,
Is
you
that
sound great.
better?
Mhm.
Okay. I messed with a couple settings, so hopefully that fixes my issue.
Yeah. I'll have to figure out my camera at some point.
That's fine. So yeah, that was the gist of what we did during the Arc 1, which was called Conversations. Again, you can find it pretty much anywhere you find podcasts. You can just search Shenanigoons and you'll find us in there. And we did some stuff, like a little bit of time passed and we leveled. We're level 5. We're level 5
Yep.
characters. So on that note, do we want to just talk about our characters a little bit?
Yeah, why don't we go ahead and introduce the different characters and the all the goodness about them.
Sure. Just want to go around the horn alphabetical or something?
Sure, whichever way you guys want to do it.
All right, so I'm Angela. If you don't know who I am, that's fine. I don't want to presume. I play Adelaide Chaucer. She is a human fighter. Thank you, Zach. Hi, Zach. Specifically an arcane archer. She is from the city of Ashport originally. She doesn't share a ton of her background with the other members of the party, but it is pretty apparent that she comes from some sort of noble-ish background. She's got very fine clothes and stays in an apartment and has a lot of experience in the upper crust. She started as a bounty hunter working for the Birchfield, and she spent much of her life wanting to become a proctor. And that was a lot of the inciting incidents for how we all met was a bounty job that she had gone on and had conscripted some help. And we all met through that comedy of errors. And yeah, she's highly intelligent, interested in academia and learning. We've sort of created a situation where she's kind of the first arcane archer. She was able to use a book that she found that had some theoretical elemental magics and stuff to augment her bow into something that she could do magic with. So yeah, she's highly interested in tinkering and becoming as excellent as possible at whatever she puts her mind to. And she has probably a tremendous amount of unearned confidence in herself that is very slowly being whittled down over the course of this story. But yeah, she's just starting to get to a point where she's trusting everybody in the group in terms of, these are kind of my people now. She doesn't seem to have a lot of connections to her home life and hasn't been around her family for a long time. So she's more interested in spending time with these people, and they're helping her reach her, life aspirations of, growing in the ranks of the proctors. So that's where she is right now with everybody. She likes everybody for the most part.
And we like you.
Oh.
Gosh darn it.
Gosh darn it.
Your turn, Arthur.
I am not the Beebs. I am Michael. Chanel, I stay off of social media, so you don't even bother looking for me there. I play Arthur. He's a human warlock of the Hexblade. Let's see. What did Angela talk about?
A little bit about my background.
Yeah,
a little bit about how I feel
my
about the
parent-
group and
Yeah. Let's see.
oh gosh, I forgot their names. We talked about them.
It was Gunther and Harriet, and they are archaeologists, well-to-do. That's how I grew up. I traveled with them from different dig sites throughout the land, and just kind of inherited that as my trade. So I'm also that. And let's see. I fell down a well trying to go after something that Adelaide had sent me on. I passed out at the bottom of the well, and Wayuna, that's when I was introduced to my patron, Wayuna, the raven goddess, the goddess of the...
Goddess
Is that
of death.
correct?
Death and the grave.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
And took me on as one of her people and became a warlock at that point. And that's about it. I don't know what else to say. I'm good with everybody. I never know where my tent is. I'm not very wise.
No.
I'm not very good at anything, but I try really hard.
I take that last bit. That's good.
Sounds
That's
about
where I
right.
stand.
He seems very unflappable. Like he just sort of goes,
Yeah.
all right, we're gonna do this. Let's
Yeah.
just
And
go
I'm not
forward."
afraid of death. I'm very adventurous. Just blends.
That's like your bestie.
guns
Why would you be
blazing.
afraid of it?
Yeah, right?
Awesome. Who's next? Bonnie?
I guess that's me. Yeah. So I am Tessa. I play Bonnie Reed, the half sea elf cleric who is a College of Swords. A cleric? Wow. Okay. Wrong campaign. For people who now get to hear what I do on podcasts
College
when
of
I
Swords
fuck up.
cleric, is that what you said?
College of Swords Bard.
We'll edit that. Start over.
But
Yeah, just
edit
start
that.
the
I mean, you've
sentence
heard me do that a million times, so starting over. So yeah, College of Swords Bard, and she has recently left home for the first time. Bonnie grew up on a remote fishing village called Ashnar's Tooth, about a week's journey away by boat from Ashport. Her mom married a dockhand shortly after Bonnie's second birthday because Bonnie's father, who was a sea elf sailor, left port and never returned. And so Bonnie, following a bit more in her father's footsteps, wants nothing more than to adventure and explore the world. She has concocted this fantasy in her head that if she only leaves to adventure more, then she one day could potentially meet her dad and take over as his first mate on his pirate ship and potentially be her own pirate princess. She's pretty sure that the stories that she has learned and has been told all her life are absolutely how the way things are. So she worked as a dockhand until she had enough money to buy a boat and came to Ashport. And her parents, being very kind, gave her enough money to have a little bit of help. And are pretty much sure that she's going to be back on the island within a month because, well, nobody who leaves the island usually stays away for long. She's
Has
coming to
it been a
terms with
month,
that.
or has it been a little longer than a month at this
I think
point?
it's been longer, hasn't it?
It's been just about a month, I think.
I think it's been
Pretty
more
close.
than that.
Yeah,
You guys
she
were in
hasn't.
the Underdark for about a month.
That's true.
A lot of walking around.
Maybe
A
not.
lot of
It wasn't that
camping.
long. I don't remember.
Mhm.
I'll have to go back and listen to the podcast.
I think we said it was a week, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
A few days
So-
travel, a few days back.
Yeah.
Oh, because you guys flew back. That's
Uh-huh.
why.
Mm-hmm, we flew back.
We flew back on the
Sorry.
dire bats.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, so she's.
How does Bonnie feel
doing her
about the
thing.
party?
Bonnie is?
How does Bonnie feel about the party? Huh?
Bonnie enjoys the party. She finds Adelaide very good conversation, even if sometimes they butt heads. Idealistically, she enjoys Val's company and Arthur's company, and she may or may not have a crush on a certain halfling rogue that we don't talk about. Why would you say anything?
Merrick, why don't you talk about yourself? How do you feel about the party?
What?
Oh yes, people. This game comes with built-in ships, and not just the pirate kind, but also the pirate.
Also the pirate kind. Always the pirate kind. Bonnie has a thing for coats. We'll just leave it that. She has a
There is a thing for
she has a
coats.
Very
very
nice coats.
particular thing for red captain's coats.
The only person here that doesn't embrace a monochromatic clothing style. I
Mhm.
think.
Yeah,
I
pretty
wear
much.
2 colors. It's just they're red and black.
Ooh.
And Merrick
fancy.
alternates. Like he,
Navy and charcoal.
gray,
Sometimes
green.
black.
Okay.
But always dark.
So
Yes.
Merrick, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
So I'm Kyle. I play Merrick Strider, a halfling rogue of the thief archetype. He's a lot of fun. He is very tongue-in-cheek. Doesn't take a lot of things seriously except for spiders. We don't talk about spiders. He is a member of one of the local crime families in Ashport. The Lotus Pads, or colloquially referred to as the Pads. He was adopted at a very young age by the matron of the family, and has been raised to be a thief pretty much from memory.
He's an Oliver Twist character, is what you're saying.
I may or may not have been reading Dickens before I came up with the character concept. I will neither confirm nor deny this character inspiration. But yeah, and so he's been adventuring with the party ever since that fateful encounter in the bar, as most adventures start for tabletop RPGs. How he feels about the rest of the party. He is he has never let down his guard really fully around them. He's not really sure who he can trust given his history with, the criminal element. But he has started to warm to certain members of the party, of course, and certain other members of the party have called him out on some of his bull. So, okay, half the party has called him. The entire party has called him out on his bull. He likes them. They're capable people and perfectly able to hold their own. So he is free to do what he does best, which is pilfer and pillage.
Drink up me hearties, yo ho.
I mean, Bonnie, you met Bonnie very, fortuitously on the docks and bumped into her and stole all her gold. She has no idea.
Oh, that's true. I had forgotten.
Yeah, I have Bonnie has no idea that Merrick stole all her gold.
We started this
meeting.
campaign. We started this campaign playing a little bit of fate system character creation with aspects. So we all have little connectors, little happenstances and coincidences that connect us all together, which is fun. All right, so Val, can you talk a bit? Oh yeah.
One final thing, I will say, Merrick looks like a child.
He looks like a little Aladdin to me.
Yeah,
like a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah, he does not grow out any facial hair because it allows him to sneak into places unnoticed.
Wear burlap sacks, please, sir. I need some change. You'll shake your little tin cup.
God.
Speaking of someone who fell for this trick of Merrick's, this little "I'm a child, please give me alms" trick. Val, you want to tell us about you?
Sure. So I'm Heather, and I play Val. Her full name is Valeria, but don't call her that. She is a Grave Domain cleric of Wayuna, and she is very sardonic for the most part, and pretty to the point and blunt. She is only 16, but half-orcs mature at 14. So she grew up with a mother. Yeah. She grew up with a mother who is a paladin of Wayuna, and so is her stepfather. So she was surrounded by it from very young. She definitely believes very strongly in Wayuna and that dead things should stay dead. In terms of zombies and things like that, that's not okay. Healing magic is different. She also doesn't know her birth father, never met him. Her mother and he hooked up after they fought off some zombies together, and then that was it.
I mean, that's pretty hot. So
yeah, I mean, they built up their adrenaline and then worked it off together. And let's see.
Nice.
In terms of
scandalous.
I know, right? Just so crazy. She did fall for Merrick's scheme and thought he was a child and gave him some money at one point. She has since kind of recognized him as the kid, but she doesn't care enough to go after him for it. It's not worth it.
Way more money now.
Yeah. In terms of the party, she likes everybody. She is a member of the Knights of Joy and Sorrow, which are an order that is somewhat religious, but does have members who aren't as religious, and they follow Wayuna. The Fields of Joy is basically 7 different heavens. The Plains of Sorrow is basically 7 different hells. And then in the middle is the Valley of Shadows, where Wayuna resides, making sure everybody stays where they're supposed to, depending on the kind of punishments they're supposed to get.
Harsh. Or not get.
Or not get, depending on the person. This is true. And let's see. Yeah, in terms of the party, she likes everybody. She feels protective of Bonnie because Bonnie's been pretty naive. Bonnie, I mean, Val, I think, is the youngest character, but
not at heart.
I'm not much older.
Yeah, but not at heart. Plus, she saw battle at 14, so she's like, whatever. She's a little more wary of things than other people. And she
seems to harbor that attitude of, y'all are gonna die if I don't stay with you.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. Yeah. So she's protective of Bonnie. She's wary of Merrick, but she trusts him not to stab her in the back unless something strange happens.
Maybe there's a bad guy clinging to your back. I don't know.
Seriously. And then
I don't know.
Adelaide she sees as sort of a member in arms because they have fought together as part of the backstory. And with Arthur, she doesn't know him very well. She likes him, but she doesn't know strongly how she feels about him one way or the other, except that he makes some really weird jokes.
That's just Arthur's MO, though.
Yeah.
He has managed to break Adelaide's sort of facade of I'm too cool for school a number of times, where she didn't want to laugh, but she couldn't really help it.
Yep. And that's Val in a nutshell.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool.
And that's Logan.
Yeah.
I'm Logan. Hi, I play every other character.
Yeah. Shall we talk about every other character?
Let's talk about some of the other characters that they're going to meet relatively quickly. Let's not talk about a lot of the obscure ones, but
So let's talk about Pugnut.
I think the conductor of the train was very important for us to.
You know what?
I never hit it, so don't blame me.
And there's recorded proof, but Angela did the editing, so you probably did.
Didn't shuffle anything.
The there was something else I was going to mention. Oh, did you guys talk at all about how you guys got on that train? I thought that was a pretty.
Sure, that's an important.
That was my favorite.
Sure.
That was one of my favorite scenes. Kind of give an idea of the antics that these five games.
I will cue you when it's appropriate, Kyle. So, we went to the train. We had to come up with some conceit. For some reason, we couldn't just get on the train. We needed to get back into the cargo, and so in order to get back into the cargo, we told them that we had an animal that we were going to transport.
Mm-hmm.
There was some disagreement about whether there was supposed to be an animal in the box or if it was just supposed to be like, this is clothes and other packages and inanimate objects we're shipping. But regardless, at the point at which it was being sort of inspected, Merrick there was a dire weasel
In heat.
in heat. Her name was Fluffy, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Fluffy.
Yep. Fluffy the dire weasel.
It worked. It worked.
Did it?
We got on the
Yeah.
train.
Mostly.
He's like, you guys can handle the box, like the steward guy. It was great.
Yeah, he was not having anything to do with that box.
Yeah, there was a lot of hilarity that ensued around that. Definitely worth a listen to. But now we can do it live.
Yep. So yeah, I think the only other big element to talk about a little bit might be I talked about the Birchfield Institute, but some things about it. There are different tiers of proctors under the Birchfield's employ, based on their pin, which I don't have the logo with me right now, but the Birchfield pin, which I should make our coming soon logo, or our starting soon logo, is an eye that has sort of almost like a flattened out helix looking thing on it. But it's meant to be this sort of all-seeing eye / accounting for the different planes of existence. It's supposed to be very esoteric and academic looking. And these pins that the proctors have are indicated by the type of metal that they're made of, determines what tier of proctor you are. So currently we are bronze level proctors, and that's
the lowest of
the lowest of the low. We currently get our loot equipment from the Birchfield Institute Lost and Found, which has miss or completely unlabeled potions, and quirky objects that, I wonder why someone left this in the box, and then you very quickly find out why someone left that in the box. So yeah, we have a bunch of weird stuff that we got from the Lost and Found, and
which will come up as we go through the story.
And we're Adelaide at least is working her way up, trying to make sure Well, the next goal is silver. So that is where she.
We're all here because of Adelaide.
Yes, Adelaide
Yeah.
gang pressed them all into joining the Proctors.
Pretty much.
You guys
She
can
called
walk
in a lot of
whenever you want.
favors. You called in a lot of favors to get us on that first mission.
I was like, you owe me.
No, she just told you she called in a lot of favors. I'm not sure that she actually.
Well, y'all ended up there. It's fine. But yeah, so the yeah, that's pretty much it.
So that's that. So that's getting caught up. So let's talk about now. You've returned from the Underdark. You have now. No, when will then be now?
Soon.
You have returned from the Underdark, and you returned the grimoire to the rightful authorities, their top men, and it is now being.
Are we doing references in this show now?
No,
Yeah.
hell no.
Okay.
We're not tracking references in this show.
We
Not
the
this one.
podcast was the entire reason we started tracking
I
references.
know,
That
but
That's
came
true.
about
this
because
is new medium, new you. It's like we need to.
I
All right, if
We're
you guys
also
want to track, we
allowing.
can absolutely
We're,
track.
I'm just saying, we're also allowing the audience to pay for wild magic searches. So
That's
I'm
true, that's
fine just having them do it.
Yeah.
If they do it, can we make a reference? Like, is that?
Oh, there's an
Obligatory.
idea.
It's free open season
Yeah.
for
Open
5 minutes.
season
We can
for
do whatever
open
we
season.
want.
Oh, there was a couple other things that we're going to be talking about because we need to figure out where to put them. I forgot. Every so often, when we get to a certain dollar amount every stream, we're going to be having a sea shanty being sung by somebody in the crew, a kind of improvisational song that's made up on the spot.
Sure,
Uh,
improv, completely not prepared ahead of time.
They shouldn't be. They should reference stuff that happens in the game. So we're
Yeah,
probably gonna do that
nothing.
like every $100 the stream earns in a day, with probably some special things happening at like 300 or 500 if we get to those. And then we're going to be working on some sort of benefit for the party or the stream as a whole if we can get a certain number of retweets, like every 10 retweets or something on our talking about our show. So we're going to work on that. That'll be later future stuff. We'll have that prepared by the time we get started, most likely. No guarantees. But we got this. We're going to have this done. What's here, and we'll go with that.
Is
So
there
that's
any
just a few other things we
reason?
got planned.
Is there any reason to pause and talk about why this is like a starter episode, or do we want to do that at the end? The sub drive.
I think the idea that we just had to recap 16 different podcast episodes might have been the idea of it being a starter episode. Oh, you're talking
No,
about the sub drive.
I mean, this like that. This
Oh, okay.
is the first episode, and then next week you'll see the show. So why that is not
So,
the case.
so the reason why we're taking 2 weeks off is because we've got our big sub drive coming up, and the Nerdsmith sub drive is this will be our second annual, which I love being able to say that. We had the first one right after we opened, like literally just a few weeks after we opened last year, and it was I would say a resounding success. And here we are again, and we're probably poised to do even better this year. And,
Finally know what we're doing.
we know what we're doing. We're actually putting out decent, much better
Some of us
quality
are-
content than we were. I would put out okay stuff before. This show came from before.
From the
and,
before time.
From the before
the
time,
before times we don't talk about.
All right.
in the dark place.
Shh, we don't talk about that.
No.
Anyway,
Any hoozle.
Jesus.
someone
Christ.
cast.
Told the dead.
Okay, so that's being resurrected. Get the joke? That is the sound of
No.
Toll the Dead that Mike invented, which is him flicking his microphone arm.
Why
Thank
does
you,
your
Mike.
microphone have arms?
It's a boom arm. It's a thingy.
Oh, okay. I thought just like microphone with like little arms, little spring arms, like one of those little dunkers from behind the. Stop with your deer fingers! God damn it! Oh, I hate
Never. It
that
will
gif.
never get old.
Fucking hate that gif. Okay. Anyway.
Now
what were we
everyone
talking
knows
about?
how to get to you, Logan.
I will burn this mother down. What were we talking about?
Sub drive.
Fingers.
It's burned into my fucking brain now.
We were
So-
talking
the sub drive. We're talking about the sub drive.
Yes.
So we are all of our nighttime programming we are turning off because we're going to do community programming for the next 2 weeks because we want to show what Nerdsmith is going to be like in the future. Not what it is now, not what it was in the past, but what it's going to be like in the future when we have a huge community of people willing to come in. I guess we're showing off what it is now because we got a huge community of people. I think we had like 50 different people sign up to do to run and play in one shots that we'll be running for 2 weeks, including quite a few people that are in the audience right now. So for 2 weeks, starting April 16th through the 31st, 30th, whatever the last day of the month is.
30th.
We will be running these one shots. So that is what's going to happen with the nighttime programming. We even have a few during the day on some days. But basically, Countless Heroes and Shenanigoons will not be streaming during that time until the very last Tuesday of the sub drive when Shenanigoons will have its first full length, super awesome episode. We'll have all the special stuff working, and we're going to do our supporter sub drive over on Nerdsmith. Not here, Nerdsmith.
Yes.
And we're gonna have all sorts of amazing little perks, like for signing up. Like we're gonna have a new 2019 exclusive supporter pin that'll be coming out, subscriber pin, and then we're gonna have a new mug. Last year we had this big old glass stein, which was awesome, but it was just kind of a sticker on there, even though it was an incredible sticker. This year we've got we're gonna do a nice screen printed porcelain, huge gray, and it's just a really cool mug. It's gray and orange, and it looks very Nerdsmith. We're gonna do a die you get a D6 from Die Hard Dice. You will get different tiers. These are all different tiers. You don't get it no matter what level. But and then the cookbook. We're putting together a cookbook with recipes from all of our shows. Kyle is working very hard with Andy, Angela's husband. Almost said Angela's wife. And
you said both. It's fine.
Yeah.
Use a mind.
And they are putting together this cookbook. And if you watch Countless Heroes, we have a chef-like character on there called Pip that Kyle plays, which is Kyle's coming into Pip there. So we got a lot of annotations in there like that. So sort of like the Xanathar's Guide to Anything with the Xanathar notes in the margins and stuff. So there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff that'll be coming out. At our third tier, I think you get the PDF, and at our highest tier, you can get the actual physical book. So we got a lot of really cool things we're going to be bringing out during that time. So we've got it's going to be a very cool time. And the vast majority of all the money, the lion's share of all the money that you donate through the subscription service through Nerdsmith goes directly to the creators of those shows. So like this show, that would help pay us, which we would appreciate. You know why? Because we're entertaining as fuck, you know? So we work a little
Going
blue
on a
sometimes.
t-shirt,
but
man.
Right?
entertaining is
Yeah,
fun.
entertaining as fuck.
But it also
You heard the
is going to
word,
help
the word
us start hiring people to be a part of the network. And so we don't have to rely on volunteers. We really want to get away from volunteers as much as possible. We believe people deserve to be paid for their work. We appreciate our volunteers to no end. But we would really, really like to get to that point where we don't have to do that. So the goal this time around is 250 subscribers, which is going to, we hope, be right at the limit of allowing us to hire our community manager part-time to come on and actually quit her second job. That is the major goal right there. So 250 subscribers this year. Also, if we hit 250 subscribers, I will not cut my hair for 6 months till our next big drive, which is our charity drive, which happens in November. I will not cut my hair until then. And every Friday night, and actually maybe I'll do it here too, Tessa will be allowed to do up my hair however she wants.
One night has to be Flock of Eagles.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
No,
Yeah,
Flock
has-
of Eagles.
She's been.
It's
she's
a
been-
mix between Flock of Seagulls and Sam Eagle.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the thing, but then a very
Y-
steep B coming down.
Yes.
A
Yeah.
very
I-
patriotic B.
I have a straight iron and I've got a teasing comb at the willing and at the ready.
So you want to cause pain? Subscribe. to
Yeah,
Nerdsmith.
so you want to see me miserable for if you want to get some Schadenfreude, and go ahead and take care of that. But I have seen how my embarrassment, or, I saw Ryan over at Perception Studios. I've seen how a DM's embarrassment can bring joy to others, and great money into pockets. So you know what? Let's go with the great money into pockets. I'm down for that. And we'll go from there. So we'll hopefully we'll see you guys. Subscribe. Yeah, you guys go out there. You gotta
April
get the people.
16th. Start
April 16th. Don't
Start
do it till April
canvassing.
16th. Because that's when all the new things are going to pop up and stuff. You can subscribe here anytime you want. We appreciate that. And during September, of course, we'll be doing the September with Twitch. Along with Twitch, they do that big September drive, I believe, right? Isn't that right? September? Yeah, Mike is nodding his head. Nod your head. Arthur's coming. Perfect. It's a
Our
snail,
music is off.
the most metal of animals.
Our music is off.
You know what?
Logan, put the music on.
Somebody else can be in charge of all this crap. Somebody else,
Aziz,
dropped
light.
$3,000 on a computer, and then they can be doing all the streaming. Alrighty.
Fix my internet and I'll do it.
Yeah, I can't fix your. I've offered to call your internet company and bitch them out, but you won't let me.
First, you have to fix Florida.
Well, there's your problem right
That's
there.
just a long-term project.
Damn.
That's
Alrighty.
gotta turn your head when you do that. There you go.
This
Okay.
is my business, Kyle. I live here.
So, I'm gonna check my DMs for my players, make sure we haven't done anything. Music.
We tried. We
Turn
tried.
the
Real...
music on.
Did you put it in Zoom like I asked you to?
No, I forgot.
No, you didn't put it in Zoom because it didn't pop up right where I'm looking.
I
Got it.
forgot. I'm sorry.
I will
I'm
remember
sure
that.
I click in Discord. It just says
Don't
music's
you,
on.
you fucking asshole. You fucking asshole.
What?
There are just messages pinging everywhere right now that are telling him to do that.
All right. There is a the salt emoji on here goes up one higher than the other emojis. The bit donation thing, I thought, or maybe it doesn't, but it looks like it does. It goes up to I think it's $100 for one emoji. I guess they all do that, the 10,000 one. But it is fills the entire emoji window with salt. And someday I'm gonna send that to you, Arthur.
Just gotta play League of Legends for a little bit. Plenty of salt there.
I play Rust. I know.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's
all right.
radioactive salt.
Did we jump into this?
I was gonna say,
madness?
let's talk about this. So, you are heading across town inside of the Ashport, this very dark, foggy city at night. Dirt everywhere, soot everywhere. Very hard to keep clothes perfectly clean. The smell of salt air is always lingering, mixed with the burning ash where the town gets its name. And you are heading to get some coffee. Anybody remember what the name of that shop was?
There
sure don't.
was
There were two.
Oh
of
yes,
them.
okay.
There were two.
There were two. It was the
Jabberwocky
the
and
Jabberwocky and the Java
And Jabber
Coffee.
Coffee.
and the
Jabber
Jabber
Coffee,
Coffee.
So I want to know which one you want to go to. So you can go to the Jabber Coffee or the Jabberwocky. I guarantee you, it doesn't matter which one you go to. It's all the same.
Which one do we want to put into World Anvil is the question. Which one's going to be of
They both
consequence?
exist.
Let's go to the
No.
Jabberwocky.
Okay, Jabberwocky. All right, so you're heading over.
Is a fun one to say.
The Jabberwocky is definitely. You can go to the Star Wars one, Jabberwocky. That's a cryptid Star Wars mix. Jabberwocky.
Which one is it, Logan?
It'd be
Hyphen or no hyphen?
Wouldn't it be Jawawaki?
Jabberwocky.
Jawawookie. That's hard to
Jawawookie,
say.
yeah.
Jabberwocky. What a
Red
Wookie.
leather, yellow leather.
That sounds like
Red
a Limp
leather, yellow
Bizkit
leather,
song.
Ba with the ba.
The Jabber Coffee. They both are fine. So you're going to the Java, and the funny thing is, I'm going to screw the name up 100 times.
Yep.
So you're going to the Jabberwocky, and as you walk up to this this very simple looking building. It's got a glass front to it, as you can see in, and just several glass windows, I should say. You see in, and it's all wood tones, a little bit different than most of the city, as most of the city is all brick, because ashes and cinders and things, and you don't want your city burning to the ground. So as you walk in, the doors open. There's a little bell that rings as the door opens, and there is a fireplace going, a very nice stone fireplace over on one side. I believe that we said it's still winter, so it's cold outside. There's dirty snow everywhere. That's pretty much what you're dealing with. It's just gross, dirty snow everywhere, and.
Now, is the snow accumulating?
Fuck you. And anyways, that's one that can die. I'd appreciate that one. So if I could veto one joke, that's the one.
Yes.
I don't even understand where it's from.
I don't know where it's from
I love
anymore.
how
I just know
everybody
that I get shit
reacts
for
to
it every single goddamn time, and he can just go to hell because I've lived in California my whole life. Moving on. So, California and all the worlds of my mind, and Florida. I've been into Florida. It was not fun.
That's because your dad had an infection.
He did have an infection. We had to fly home. He got a bacterial infection in his neck. It blew up. It was hilarious.
Florida gave your dad a bacterial infection.
It was horrible at the time, but the doctor made it funny. So, which now that I've seen videos, the doctor basically talked about it like that. But now that I've seen videos of what actually was done, okay, moving on. Don't Google that. So as you walk in, there is this young human, looks a little older than Merrick, standing behind the counter, maybe 15, 16.
Okay, I was gonna
and
say
he's
looks older
got,
than Eric's actually.
He's got really long, dirty blonde hair, and I don't mean its color is dirty blonde. It's actually like bleach blonde. It's just dirty. And he's wearing a big scarf around his neck that's folded, and it's got this little weird kind of square knot where the scarf goes. And he's wearing this kind of pretentious looking jacket. It's a very nice jacket, but it doesn't really go with the scarf. And he's standing there wearing little, very thin white gloves as he rings up the person behind the counter with their big old-timey cash register. Of course, this time it wasn't old-timey. It was actually quite new and fancy. And they've got all these mugs of different sizes laying around. The Kynan, which is small, the Alta, and then, of course, the Norsa, which is the gigantic size. And as you walk up, behind the counter, stacked against the wall, are just bags of beans. Just pre-roasted beans ready to go. They also have bags of unroasted beans that they will roast on site for a little extra pretension in your coffee. So, do you guys just grab? So there's several seats all around, away from the fire, near the fire. There's some outside that they seem to have set up if you're interested in sitting in the snow. Where do you guys want to sit? What do you want to do?
By the fire, please. It's cold outside.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Adelaide.
That's what the whiskey's for.
Adelaide shuffles, very determined, towards the front counter. What time is it?
It's early in the morning, so it's kind of dark outside. Probably like 7:30.
Okay, then she walks a little bleary-eyed at the table or to the counter and morning.
Hey, how's it going? Welcome to Java Coffee. How can I help you? Can I get you maybe a little caramel limpa latte? You want to try out my Pumpalata lick stick? Those are really tasty. We can get you a double dip crunchicino. Maybe like that. What can I do for you?
I would like the largest cup you have of the strongest
we can do
thing
that.
you have. made out of
Oh, yeah.
those. And she points at the beans.
I mean, that's kind of what you're here for. I understand. We're here for coffee. You want something double strong or triple strong? Well, triple strong comes with a disclaimer. You'll have to sign off.
I will take my chances with the double. Thank you.
All righty. So he pulls out a piece of paper on a little bit of a board that's kind of attached there, and says, just sign right there, and I'll get that made up for you. And you said you wanted Norsa, right? This one here. He pulls out a basically bucket-sized little container.
Why don't you just call it a large? It should just
It's
slowly. She just starts scribbling her name on the sheet. What did the sheet say in general terms?
It basically said that they're not responsible for that anything might happen, heart palpitations or curses or anything like that come from drinking a triple strong.
Okay. I said double, but fine. If he starts making a
Oh, you
triple,
want the double?
but if he
Okay.
starts making a triple, she sees the form and just goes, fine. Just signs the form.
Okay.
Are there any chocolate-covered coffee beans?
No, they don't have any chocolate covered coffee beans. They do have coffee covered chocolates. Well, that means you don't get chocolate on your fingers. So it's actually ground coffee grinds,
gonna
but
say.
unroasted, unpercolated, but put just kind of rolled over lumps of dropped chocolate.
I will get a bag of those as well.
Okay.
And she'll slowly wander over to the fireplace.
So he starts to brew your coffee through this sort of espresso looking machine, and afterwards he pours the insane ridiculous amount of espresso into this device that sort of looks like a still, and he sits there, sets it, and forgets it, and he walks away for a few minutes.
Bonnie is up at the counter, about like bouncing, waiting her turn.
Merrick will
He'll come
also
over.
be
Okay, come over to the two. Hey, what can I do for you guys?
Hi, could I get a Norsa quadruple hot chocolate with caramel drizzle and cinnamon whip, please?
Yes, of course you can. Here, just need you to sign this right here.
Thank you. Oh, and can I get 2 of your chocolate croissants, please?
Do we have those? Oh yeah, there they are. All right, yeah, I can get you 2 of those. Absolutely. I need to get those for you right now. You want those warmed up?
Yes, please.
All right, 1 second.
So that's
It's actually croissant covered chocolate.
I've had those too.
There you go.
But it's chocolate, so it's not like you'll notice if the dirt falls in.
There's that.
Does everything at this place come with a waiver?
No, she's like a quadruple something or other. Anything that's more than any double anything.
I said a quadruple hot chocolate with caramel drizzle and cinnamon
Oh, okay.
whipped cream. There was
You had
no
to sign a
coffee in
waiver
it.
for the sugar content.
Yes,
What
you
are we,
did.
Brit?
You're already bouncing when you order it.
I know.
Kyle,
Um,
are you height accurate? Is that what's
Yes.
happening here?
And
I might be.
so, what can I get for your son over there?
Is there a stool?
Fuck you a lot.
Oh man, the little guy's got a mouth.
I'd like a Norsa triple firm half calf, a caramel butterscotch shot in the dark, add fresh hazelnut, and 2 pumps of rum butter, please.
Oh, you're a regular. You got your card with?
Of course.
Oh, he'll take it and he'll stamp it a couple times. Here you go, little guy. And he'll go
Thank you.
back and start making.
Oh my god.
Go ahead.
I'm a
Val.
frequent flyer here.
Yeah, Val will walk up to the counter. She's just kind of shaking her head at this place. She doesn't know what's happening. Hi. What do you have that's strong?
Everything.
The little, as you walk up and ask that question, the still thing that has Adelaide's drinking it starts to shake, and it's like starting to shake over like it's the edge of the counter. And without looking, he turns to you. He just kind of pushes it back a little bit, so the little spout is under the thing again, and it stops and starts to pour. Oh, that'd be right there. You want one of those? I can make it up for you right now.
Yeah.
You can share it, Val.
That sounds good.
You only got a Norsa. Did you want a twinsy Norsa?
What's a twinsy Norsa?
Oh, we got these special cups. There's two of them. They're attached together. They're very difficult to drink from.
How big is the Norsa?
He holds up this little
bucket.
It's like a 44 ounce.
So it's like a big gulp of coffee?
Basically.
With like
It's
a
a
little
big
dip
cup
in
of
the middle, so
espresso.
it kind of looks like 2 cups.
They're on a hinge though, so they twist independently. So you just gotta.
Right.
It's actually a doorknob mechanism.
I have
Oh,
this-
Val, a no from my lips has
They are
never been more
spring-loaded.
emphatic than right now.
Well, you could do you do the double dip. One of you goes one way, one of you goes the other.
Again, I say no.
If you
I
want to
won't-
be fancy, you reach and you link arms and you drink from the other cup. It's really kind of cool.
You can stop talking. What's your Doug?
Doug.
Oh man, I forgot my name.
It's D-U-G also,
It
by the
is.
way.
It's
Double
just
G.
D-U-G. D-U-G-G, yes.
Oh God.
That's
Um,
my
Welcome to the
children's
ca-
name.
The first G
Welcome
is
to the
silent.
canon, Doug.
The second G is silent.
They're both solid, actually. It's just duh.
People mispronounce it all the time.
all right. Duh. I'll take a Norsa. Just a regular coffee. But can I get one of the... Do you guys deliver?
Wait, regular coffee?
What's
I'm
the
not sure I
closest
could do
thing you
that.
have to regular coffee?
You put the beans in the water.
Oh, but I could do that.
All right. I'll take a double strength Norsa.
Then you're just drinking
Alright,
bitter
sounds-
bean juice.
It's fine, Bunny. And do you guys deliver?
To like up the street? We're
Over at
drinking
the table.
Back? No, I
we'll,
want to
we'll bring
send
it right
one.
out to you. I mean, if I get
No,
busy,
that's
you might have
not
to
what
come
I
up and
meant.
get it. But I mean, I can put
I
your
want-
name on it right here.
I want one delivered down to the Knights down the street.
Are they all
You-
gonna
you want-
share the big one?
Trust me, they'll be fine with sharing the
Send
big
them
one.
the twinsy.
You have to pre-order the
All right,
cakes.
we'll send her twinsy right here.
All right, I'll pay for both of those.
All right, could you imagine a keg of hot chocolate? That would be amazing.
I've seen it. We've done it for a couple of the gatherings.
That would not be healthy.
Oh no.
Did you want me to send them some Pumpalada lick stick?
Sure.
All right, sounds good.
I'm sure one of them will eat it.
And how many of those did you?
5.
So he reaches into a big barrel that's sitting up on the counter and pulls out these long biscotti, but they're bright orange, and they're half dipped in like a white sort of creamy, like a white chocolate.
All right. And she'll pay and go, whatever it is, and go
Yeah.
sit down.
I'll figure that out later. Let's not worry about it right now. This is a
No,
prequel game.
no, let's not worry about it after we've just spent half an hour talking about our coffee order.
She hands everyone their Pumpalada lick
Told
stick.
you.
This is
I told
D&D,
you
you
to fill out
guys.
the-
This is
Well,
D&D.
We can fill out the
We'll
time.
pull it on my loyalty card. It's fine.
I was going to use mine. I have it. Right
Oh.
here.
Well, you know,
It's fine.
I spoke up first.
Yeah, you get it.
I get
you
the points.
You know what would be really
Next
good in
time.
this is like a scoop of ice cream floated in it.
Oh, you should have. We can do that.
You have to sign another waiver.
Next time.
No, I think you're good. You're good. These waivers are good for like 30 days.
Perfect.
And I'll have what they're having with room. Yeah, of course.
All
They're
right.
my
How
usual.
much room you want in there?
Half.
Half. All right.
The other half.
So you want one of everything they're having?
Sure.
All right.
Double stamp Merrick's card though.
All right. He'll stamp Merrick's card a couple times.
When he Arthur's going to fill the rest of it with whiskey.
All right.
3 more until I get a free lick stick.
Nice.
I got some for us to eat.
Oh, I didn't know
Thank
that's
you.
for us.
That doesn't seem
I'm not
like
going to
a-
eat all 5 of these.
I thought they
don't-
were for the knights, but okay.
I
Oh,
don't
no, the
believe
coffee
that's a
was for them.
natural cup.
Ah,
It's not, but that's okay. Actually, I mean, it's a natural color for flowers, not so much for food.
Hmm.
I don't know. Curry is kind of orangish. And that's not
Pumpkin.
and turmeric and sweet potato. So, it's
And
not
all of those are in these things.
Oh no. Oh no.
And the curry.
What about cheese?
Especially the curry.
That's the white.
Carrot?
Ironically, the cheese is the white one.
No.
And they are rock hard.
Oh. No, you gotta put them in your
Mhm,
drink
you
and then they soften up.
And then you lick them.
As you stick yours in your drink, you see him over there like licking on one. Oh man, that's a really good idea.
Bonnie bites the end of
should-
each one and makes it a
we should-
straw. Starts
We should
drinking
change the
her-
name of these to Pumpkin Dipstick.
You're welcome.
Oh man. Next coffee's on me, all right?
All right.
will you still stamp our card?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Excellent.
You only got 37 more to go.
I'm still waiting on the T-shirt.
It's coming, man. It's coming.
Last year's design
It takes
was
a long time to embroider all those t-shirts.
Sometimes they order them and you get jabber coffee and you have to get them sent back and they gotta re-embroider them.
It's a horrible situation.
they come from the same supplier.
Hey, man, dude, don't be spreading that around. I'll revoke your...
They are totally unique and one
That's
of a
right.
kind.
Yep.
So, what's the plan for today?
Sitting for
Drinking. Licking.
yeah.
Coffee.
Getting my coffee.
I had to pull a graveyard shift.
Yeah.
No, I mean, literally. We watch the
We-
graveyard and take
we
turns
know-
to make sure nothing comes back up.
Adelaide puts a hand on Val's arm. We know. We knew it was literal. We know. Adelaide just pulls out. Oh, I know something that'll cheer me up. Adelaide reaches into her bag and pulls out, or rather, reaches over and grabs her book bag. Yes. And am I good to pull from my magic book bag?
Give me just a second here.
Okay.
Magic
f-
book bag.
Please let it be the new book. The new one.
I don't know if it
There's a new series.
does it count as lost if it's not published yet.
That's a good question.
What
Depends
new
on which-
series?
Depends on
It's
which
the
version.
new the
Don't-
author of Puppies of Mystery. They're creating a new series.
Yeah.
What's
Choose your
this
own
one?
adventure.
So, okay, go ahead and give me a roll.
All right.
Percentile?
Percentile.
It's called Kittens of Mayhem.
54.
Okay.
Whatever path you choose, the opposite one happens.
It is book 37 of the Puppies of Mystery series, and it is called The Secret of the Kissing Boxer.
Adelaide looks at the book. Sighs. Arthur.
Yes, thank you. I promise not to hit anybody over the head with it.
Oh, it's yours
Thank
now.
you.
You do with what you want.
You have better things to hit someone with than a book, I hope.
Let's be honest, I can't hit anything.
I wasn't gonna say it.
You know, the Birchfield has training fields and tutors and quartermasters that you could talk to if
But
you're
they look
worried.
down the nose at you.
They do.
Mm,
Just you.
mm.
They can't. I mean, it's unavoidable.
I think he means it literally,
God.
Merrick.
Yeah. Yep, I gathered. Yeah, well.
I mean, technically, one of the quartermasters is actually a dwarf, so it's not the same.
At least don't get any of those how's the weather down there jokes anymore.
That's good. Arthur, but really, yes, they can be sort of a pain in the ass, but take the knowledge you can from them. You still get to benefit from it, even if they're being tools about it.
There's
I will
that.
find some time.
Bonnie will pull out her violin and just kind of make a few notations as she's practicing and give a grin over at Adelaide. Thanks again.
It's treating you well.
It's got a lovely sound.
I remember.
So, as you're sitting there relaxing, some of you trying to get through your pumpkin colada lick sticks, some of you just enjoying your drinks, some of you having the strongest espresso type coffee drink you've ever had in your life. You just kind of settle in for a moment, just enjoy not being outside, not being in this weather, a nice warm fire, and the company of what you're, I think, starting to consider your friends.
Adelaide pulls out her actual journal out of the book bag, thinks about her journal and pulls it out and actually starts
As
working
opposed
on
to a
that.
fake journal.
Well, I mean, as opposed to like
She's got a Decoy journal.
Mm-hmm. She always keeps it in her back pocket, so when Merrick tries to steal things from her, he only gets the fake one. She puts all sort of machinations in it that he can try to tease out.
Is that a type of nut?
A machination?
They have white chocolate machination cookies over there.
Oh my god.
That really should be what they're called.
Alright, this is hurting my back.
Yeah, I mean, yes, please, your posture's more important than the gag.
Well,
Never.
That's why corsets are
You can just-
handy. I have no
you can
choice
just-
but to sit up straight.
Couldn't you just tilt your camera up?
That's true, you
Yeah,
can
that's
put it a
true.
little higher and angle it down. I just want Kyle to have to be looking up every time he talks.
Roll an intelligence check.
that's a 10.
What happens?
I don't. Yeah, you took
Yeah,
over. Go
he
for it.
doesn't know. He doesn't
hear you.
realize that he can tilt his camera.
Oh,
That's what
okay.
happened.
Ah, gotcha.
I do like the fact that it's light outside and the sun shines on occasion.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
nice change.
Not
It's-
being in a cave is great.
Yeah, it's a nice change, I agree. I'm perfectly happy never
Pugnut
going
was-
back there. That's true. I like Pugnut. We could go see Pugnut again.
Yeah.
It wasn't so dark in his neck of the woods.
No.
No, the goblins were okay.
Nugget.
And I'm curious how they've been
That's true.
implementing my wagon design.
We'll have to go and visit them at some point and get some more smush wine.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
absorb more sun rays before I go back down there for a while.
I agree with you. I am definitely not ready to head back below ground anytime soon.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, underground is where all sorts of fun things are, like diamonds and truffles.
No, that's a good point. Truffles are pretty decent. It's been a while. I ran out of the ones I grabbed from that house.
You grabbed a lot of good things from the house.
Mm-hmm.
I
Gave
was
a
so
lot of
looking
it
forward to
back
this
after
much.
that sob story about the less fortunate getting the bounty of what we stole. So I only kept the wine and a couple of sundries.
Hmm.
And I've got a painting.
You
Yeah.
do a painting to a thing that is not there anymore.
Because we took
Oh,
it.
but it still has that hideous dog on the front.
It does.
There's just something so charming about a dog that looks like it's both sad and sneezing at the same time.
That's true.
You know, I still have I read it a little bit.
What?
You would have hated it. The grimoire.
Oh. Yeah, no. No.
Not my kind of magic.
Oh, it's not
I
most
mean-
people's kind of magic. That's what makes it amazing.
I wouldn't have said no to seeing any of it.
I showed you a couple sketches, didn't I?
Yeah, that's true.
We had a long walk back.
It was pretty interesting.
Though I don't know when I'll be able to see it again. They sort of, carted it off.
Yeah, that's true.
They have plenty of research divisions in the Birchfield that do their own thing, and we don't really get to keep much of what we collect for them.
I mean,
Yeah.
Don't they
Like it-
get rid of a lot of it?
That's a good question. I've always assumed some of it, but researching and figuring out how things work, it's probably more valuable than just ditching most of it.
Maybe.
I bet I could go get the books for you if you really wanted to read them.
I'm a little attached to this actually, and she taps her Birchfield pin that is very proudly displayed on her lapel. I'd rather keep this if you don't mind.
Oh, you wouldn't have to have anything to do with it. You would just... fine.
I feel like having it in my possession would be the problem.
Yeah, but possession is 9/10 of the law, right?
I will take your word on that one. No, thank you, Merrick. I'll stay above board for the time being.
You're no fun.
Of course I am. We had lots of fun.
That's true. Speaking of tall, dark, and disturbing, have anybody heard anything from Robin?
It will have been too soon if I hear from him again.
Yeah, no, I haven't.
Isn't he kind of our boss?
I know.
I
Sometimes I
guess.
just like to pretend that maybe we'll get upgraded.
That he, suddenly had an aneurysm while we were in the Underdark, and,
I thought more that a distant cousin, and by distant I mean geographically distant cousin, got ill and he had to go somewhere, and nothing so macabre, Merrick.
Maybe he'll get promoted and we'll be left with somebody new.
He'll be our boss's boss then, and we won't have to talk to him.
Until we advance again.
Maybe.
Yeah,
That's probably
that'll
not
be
happening.
nice.
I mean,
Maybe Ig can convince him to take over his division. Ig can be your handler.
Oh my. Twofold. Robin behind that desk, it delights me to no end. Ig, I would work for that man.
I would absolutely work for Ig. Ig is a delight.
Yeah. I like egg.
think of all the paperwork that will never be done.
Right?
It'll just disappear into a box somewhere.
And
Well,
then
it's-
some
it's-
poor random bronze badge will find it in the lost and found.
yeah, it's completed just when he hands it away to other people to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, were we meeting here for a reason, or was it just for the coffee?
Logan,
Yes.
were we just traveling here for shits and giggles?
Just for the coffee for right now, but
Okay.
I'm working on getting
No,
the last
that's
little
fine.
tidbits here, and I'll be with you.
I mean, I could use the caffeine. I feel like I'm depleted of much of my brain power lately.
I thought you were going to say you felt like you were run over by a train. Still too soon.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Still too soon.
Oh.
I still feel
We've
bad
had-
about that.
Bunny, I
Yeah.
promise none of us are sore about it. Except for maybe Val
well-
when she fell off the train. She might be a little sore.
She's got armor. She's fine.
I am fine, honestly.
Yeah.
No one feels
Never worked in
sore.
actual combat before. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Things happen. You fight and you learn, and then you don't repeat things that caused problems.
Yeah, I have not done it since.
That's true. You're
This is
already
very true.
100% more more self-contained with your magic. By the way, how is your little trinket going?
Which one?
The new one.
Bonnie
Lightsaber?
draws her rapier. Hasn't quite started talking to me just yet, but we also
Uh-huh.
haven't gotten into a scrape together yet, so maybe I should hit up the training sessions.
You really should. I've taken a look and run a few. They have a lot of programs there that you can take advantage of. I mean, we're getting paid, but there's so many more perks to the job, and you really should take advantage.
I mean, it's gotta be better than informal training on the deck of a ship. Well, I take that back.
Yes.
It's probably just as awesome as informal training on the deck of a ship.
There seems like there'd be a charm to that.
You really can't be, training against a target that's standing in front of you and, sliding your weapon in and really sinking deep, and then pulling it out and seeing the damage that's been done. The
Adelaide
straw-
looks to Arthur
the straw
and
will never
says,
be the same.
I feel like I need an adult right now.
Training dummies.
Don't look
Yeah.
at me.
What?
You could always come train with the knights if you wanted to.
Sure, a little bit of schooling never hurt anybody.
And lots of zombies.
We don't have to fight zombies that often, but we do fight them sometimes.
That often is too often.
No, I mean, I think the last one was a couple of months ago. It's fine. We watch the graveyard just in case, but it's really not very often that it happens. Usually it's some kid who hasn't figured out they've got a necromantic bent to their magic yet, and they fuck something up. It's fine.
So
That's a school I try to stay away from.
Most people do. Teenagers, hormones, they don't know what they're doing.
So it's
I am a teenager.
Oh, I forgot you're a baby.
I guess technically I am too, but,
Ugh, I forgot you're a baby too.
so the source of necromancy is hormones.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant they can't control their magic because of hormones.
Ah,
It's horror moans.
Ah.
I thought it was because they finally are, physically capable of raising a family, so they want to raise a family.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way.
I've never asked him that, but you could try it.
I think of what I've managed to glean from any sort of research, necromancy is just, it's one of those where isn't it more an intent and method that would dictate if it was more abhorrent than other things? I mean,
For the most
all
part,
magics
yeah.
can be used in that way.
There's
Find it
some
quite
healing.
interesting.
Yeah, there's some healing magic that's actually necromancy based, like spare the dying type of things.
Yep.
But yeah, no, I mean it doesn't happen often. We do occasionally fight the undead, but it's not an everyday occurrence. We just make sure they go back where they're supposed to be, usually in pieces.
Cheers to that.
Yeah, most of my magic is evocation and enchantment.
Most of my magic.
When I'm
Most of my
traveling
magic
with you
is
guys, I
charm.
focus on healing.
You do an
I was
excellent job
thinking-
of it too.
Thank you.
Cheers to that. I was thinking about heading back to the institute today. Had a couple of errands to run, and Bonnie, if you wanted to join, you're more than welcome.
Sure.
So as you are doing that, slipping in from the other side of the shop through the other door and heading up to the counter is Ig from the institute. Before he starts his shift, he always comes by, and the guy behind the counter, says, he looks over. Oh, hey, Ig, how's it going? You want the usual? And Ig just kind of nods. And all right, one slurry seal coming up. And he goes over to that machine that Adelaide had put her coffee in, and he pulls out he starts taking it apart, and he starts pouring this sludge-like remnants from the bottom of this, using a spatula to kind of scrape it, almost frosting-like, into the mug. And then he puts a spoon in it and slides it over to Ig.
Oh,
No.
Oh, good lord.
How many sizes does that come in?
Oh man, it's just the one, man. If we had more than one, it would go bad. It's
Sure.
just that we never have that many around that long.
Sure.
So Ig, this very elderly gentleman, little rickety human, graying hair and wearing just simple burlap pants and what?
Ig's a dwarf.
Dwarf.
Yeah, he was a
made
dwarf.
stone. His name is Ignatius as a stone joke.
That's
Mhm.
right. My apologies. He's a dwarf. Do we have the description of him up somewhere?
Nope.
He's a
I
dwarf.
just remember the
He's an
joke.
elderly dwarf, wearing just kind of burlap pants and a simple but clean shirt with a little tie, a little bolo tie, and he comes over because he's cold. He sits near the fire, which is sort of near all of you, and he recognizes you. Just kind of sits there and nods as he puts the cup near the fire to kind of warm up the slurry. As he stirs it, trying to get it to a consistency he could swallow.
Ig, do you want my chair? It's
I'm fine over here. It's warmer over here.
Hi,
Thank
Ig.
you. Hello, Miss Val. How are you?
Pretty good.
It's very good. Are you mobile today?
Mobile? You mean like able to walk around?
Yes. Can you walk around?
Yes.
Oh, me too. It's a good day. Yeah.
Is it a bad day when you can't walk around?
I would think so. I haven't had any yet, but I keep worrying every day.
Have you thought about getting a cane or something?
I mean, if I could use a cane, sure, but that I'd still be mobile then, right?
That's true.
I suppose.
It's the day when the cane no longer works that I fear. But I always feel better after my slurry.
I'm sure that things just move right along.
After.
Just like that song. That's what that song was about, didn't you know?
Which song was that?
I don't know. Nobody's donated $100 yet.
Don't tempt them.
I'll tempt them if I want to. I'll tempt them if I want to. Sorry.
Adelaide is like really focused on drinking her coffee, trying not to think about the slurry.
So he's got it to more of a molasses sort of a consistency now, so he's able to start kind of slowly, just like eating honey. He's just like kind of dipping, licking on the spoon a little bit, and just taking a little spoonful.
You know, if you spread that on one of the croissants,
Oh, that would kill me. I can't swallow bread.
you can't. Why not?
I just can't do it anymore. It gives me a blockage.
This music is the music that happens when Ig tries to eat bread.
The moment of reckoning is at hand.
It gets
This is our
normal.
tavern music.
It's fine. It just has
Play
a
the music
really,
choice.
it just has a really dramatic intro. It's fine.
It's Mesri's theme. That's how I think of this song now. It's just Mesri's theme.
He starts choking, and we just go, "Rye, oh Rye, did he have to eat the bread?"
God damn it, Kyle.
Oh, that
I hate
joke is
it.
completely sour.
Are you all looking forward to your next assignment?
Wait, Autumn
What did I
said,
miss?
Autumn said we have to sing the slur. We have to sing about the slurry to the tune of "Pretty Little Surrey" with the fringe on top.
With the foam on top.
I think it would go caffeinated slurry with the something. I can't finish.
Foam.
With the foam on top, yep.
Oh,
I don't know the song.
Beautiful.
it's fine. It doesn't matter. I just imagined.
Oklahoma, right?
Yeah, it's Oklahoma.
Yep.
Now I can't not hear it.
Can't unhear it now.
What-
I can't. I don't. I'll once I hear it, I'll be like, oh, duh, yeah.
If I had a pumpernickel for every time I heard that.
It's more about the pun in the title. That's all. Ew.
With the foam.
Well,
on
now you
top.
have to do. You got to put out a video. We'll do it Brady Bunch style.
Oh no, we could do it in the round.
Ooh.
Yes, on video over the internet. That's never gone bad, ever.
Ever.
Not once. The internet
Not-
is an intelligent beast.
Is that what we have to fight, Ig?
The internet sounds good to me.
We need to bring back
We'll
the
fight you,
internet.
internet.
Yeah, I hear it's full of trolls.
And porn. Mostly porn.
Troll porn.
A lot of troll porn, yeah. I mean, there's a rule on the internet. I think it's rule 34. That means there's porn of you on there. There's porn
God.
of me on there. Laying on a bearskin rug covered in slurp.
No!
This is my life now. We're all trapped.
You know, I wouldn't think that the internet would be a very friendly place for trolls. On accounting of all the flame wars.
That's true.
Thank you for bringing it down a notch with a slightly more reasonable joke.
Fennec, no, we don't need fan
No,
artists.
fan
to
artists
do
don't.
that.
It's like just I
Taste
was
the
imagining
nudes on the line.
no that scene in Futurama where Farnsworth is naked. It's just that.
God.
All right, Fennec, make sure you clip that one. I actually kept a straight face through it. All right. Shall we get back to it?
So Ig,
Yes.
Very different game.
we're sort of I don't know if you have any insight about this, but we're sort of sitting on our hands right now, waiting to hear back about
Between
The
us.
next
I've
thing
heard
we're
that
supposed
Robin
to
has
do.
big plans for you. Some fancy lady has some sort of artifact she's looking for.
Oh.
Oh, really?
Was this something we
Yes.
were supposed to get in a memo, or
No, I don't think he's told you yet, but I'm old and I really don't fucking care.
Ig, I
Bravo.
really loved you.
What are they gonna do? Demote me? I already work at the Lost and Found.
have you always worked in the Lost and Found? Ig?
Every day for 73 years.
Who did you destroy to be put there?
I like
Whose
the
life-
quiet.
Well, that's good. Find your joy where you can.
I agree.
Want some whiskey for your
It's not the
slurry?
right accent.
No, whiskey'll kill me.
I
Create,
can't
me
drink
up.
this.
create some sort of blockage.
Just a blockage all the way down. I'm just basically one big clog.
You should try shoes that aren't wooden.
disgusting metaphor for the human anatomy I have ever heard.
He's a dwarf.
Basically, just one big clog.
Yeah, that's mild for dwarves. And think about this. Most of this would have been cut in the podcast.
It's true. Nah,
Very
this
true.
No,
would've
most of this is pretty good.
Have you ever used the bathroom next to the Lost and Found?
Oh, every day I can't make it much farther than that.
Well, no, that's my point, is that you go near there and all of a sudden there's a sound of a gunshot and shattering porcelain.
Oh, so you've been there around 2:00.
Unfortunately.
I hate you both so much. We got through half an episode before it was nothing but poop jokes.
That's a record for us.
Welcome to what happens when Wand Radio bleeds into everything else you do.
Right?
This
And
one
when we
came
can't
first.
edit Shenanigoons.
Try me. Well, I won't tell Ig, I won't tell him you told us.
I don't care if you tell that asshole. You can tell him anything you want. What are we talking about?
You were giving us our
Robin.
next job.
Oh, that's right. I was gonna tell you about this nice lady. Yeah, don't tell Robin about it.
Tell him about what?
What were we talking about?
The
We were
fancy
talking about our
lady.
next job.
Oh, that's right. Yes, a friend of mine told me. A very nice, sort of beautiful gentleman. He's kind of bird-like. You may have met him. He's around occasionally. He delivers the lunches.
What?
He delivers the Is he deaf? I don't.
No, I was trying to place who you were talking about. I
don't
don't
know.
Oh,
I've met him
he's
yet.
an Aarakocra.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Aarakocra who delivers the lunches at the institute. Oh, you're bronze bag. You don't get lunches yet, do you?
No.
Adelaide just
No.
sort of, nope, we don't.
Bronze badge, brown bag. That's how it
Yes,
works.
he wants to open that ice cream parlor.
Oh,
Oh,
Yes,
be
that's a
interesting.
nice Aarakocra fellow, but he's got the what? What's
I-
wrong, Heather?
I have a
I'm
feeling I know what
searching-
the ice cream place would be called.
Yes. Yeah, he wants to make those weird milkshake thing.
what?
He's calling it the Maltese Falcon.
I hate you.
oh my God, that's even better. I love it. We should go there. I love ice
Oh,
cream.
it's not open yet. He still needs more money.
Well, I meant when it is open, we should go there.
Yes, that'll be very good. Some sort of blended ice cream. I like.
They should have a truck that makes deliveries for them.
What's a truck?
You know, like a wagon that makes deliveries for them.
Oh,
Yeah. You know, I have the truck driver named Pete. Sounds like a good strong name. Call it the Peter Lorry.
My God. You're fucking fired. I love you. Good Lord.
My reach
Alright.
exceeds my grasp sometimes.
just a little.
That
Oh,
was
so you've
amazing.
been around at 2:00. I see.
Oh no.
Hey, you can't use that. That's not branded for this show.
I'll go brand one.
I know you will.
It'll have, it'll have the hand that's holding a dice is actually just.
You just
There
stain
you
it a
go.
good slurry brown.
Oh.
No.
Wasn't that a television show?
Yes.
Slurry Brown about that newscaster.
Yes, Fennec. Yeah, that's
is-
pretty much
it
the
is this
entire
time.
show. Yeah, it's just the two of us. It's
Until
just
I
Colorado.
edit us back into
Yeah.
a story.
And the rest of
structure.
us try to get back to D&D.
Yeah.
Swimming
I think we're
upstream
earning
When
in a
Mike stops
river of
laughing, that's
slurry.
when I start realizing we're going too far.
I can't get a word in. I'm reading my book.
Yes.
I haven't read
Oh.
the 30.
It's a lost tome. There was only
Yeah.
one run of publishing.
Yeah, it's all right. Well,
What's the lady's name that has the job? And what was the artifact she's looking for?
Susan the Lesser.
What happened to Susan the
Some
Greater?
sort of duchess.
She's very lazy.
Ah. I've heard that about Susan's.
It's just a title. You don't need to go on about it.
Is that a...
What? You don't have to raise your hand. You just ask the question. I'm not teaching a class up. Am I teaching a class up here? No, I'm
Always.
not.
Logan?
Yes.
Is Susan the Lesser a name that Adelaide would be aware of?
So the Lesser family. No. So Susan the Lesser is a noble from a neighboring kingdom. This one is not a king. I don't think we put Ashport a kingdom, right? No,
No.
it's more
Just
of
an
a
independent city-state?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to figure that one out exactly. But yeah, this is from a neighboring kingdom.
Okay.
City of Alaris. Alaris.
Okay.
Does that ring a bell, Eddie?
I mean, I'm aware of the city that she might be from, but I don't really know anything else. You see a lot of names fly through books and ledgers and glad
If the names
handing.
start flying off the page, you should stop drinking your coffee.
Hmm.
I see that bucket next to you. It's a little much.
It still is. I'm taking my time, don't worry.
I
So
already
what
spelt it
kind of-
once.
What kind of artifact?
I was typing other notes.
And
Yes.
there's a very particular artifact that she's looking for. You see, she's
Of
a
course.
purveyor of teas. She collects and
Right.
creates and makes all sorts of tea.
It's a noble profession.
Yes, and she collects teacups as well and all sorts of things.
All right.
So is she on the lookout for a doily that completes a set, or
Something like that. It's actually a very special glove. It's a mithril glove.
Hmm.
Yes. It was
That's
created by for what did they say? Some emperor of the kingdom hundreds of years ago. I'll come up to the name. I'll get it. Wait a minute.
Adelaide,
Hold on.
Adelaide just
Don't rush me.
drinks her coffee.
No, never mind. All right. Anyways, it was said that when you use this glove to drink tea, that
Mhm.
the essence of the tea itself would kind of be into the gauntlet, into this glove. The tea itself would be in it.
so it would stain the glove.
Not exactly, no. The essence of it, not the actual tea. But anytime you were holding a cup, you evidently recall the tea, any cup that had been drunk anywhere, anytime, and drink it again. Evidently,
So-
several ancient, very extinct or hard to get teas were drunk with this gauntlet.
Huh.
That is the most upper crust thing I have ever heard of.
Yes,
No, I've
I
heard of a
can't
magical
eat the
sandwich
upper
platter
crust.
Causes a
It causes a blockage.
That's this episode's title, by the way. Is it causes a blockage?
Just blockage.
Blockage.
God, no, please no.
Please don't actually do that. Please.
Anyways, it's evidently more of a personal sort of thing. So they thought that it needed a little bit of a more delicate hand than the fetch. Wait, no, what are they called? Not fetches. What are they called?
Yeah, fetchers.
Fetchers.
Fetchers,
The
yeah.
fetchers. Damn it! I had it right the first time. Then the fetchers.
It's all right,
but,
you're old.
but it wasn't work for a silver or higher. You guys have proved yourself, I guess. So you're getting the shot.
So are we moving to silver?
What? No. Are you crazy?
Not last time I checked, but
All right.
Jury
No,
style.
and absolutely not. You guys have much more work to do, I'm sure.
Ah,
Took me 22 years to reach bronze.
was that because you were behind a desk the entire time?
That's where I like it.
It's
Fair
because
enough.
nobody lost their pin in 23
It's
years.
my home, where the stock is. It's my stock home.
Is the blockage a syndrome?
No,
That's my pet rat.
He spends so much time sitting that his intestines just bent.
Oh god!
No!
I love the fact that Logan and Kyle will go on this pun off, and then Heather will just like slice through it with a machete of medical knowledge that makes us all upset.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's decisive.
It's a beautiful moment.
I treasure
All right.
them.
Anyway, I think that's where you'll be heading. Maybe 2 weeks from now or so.
Oh,
Have time
Thank
for
you,
them
Nick.
to get things in order. Or maybe it's tomorrow. We're not real time.
Unlike other campaigns.
Unlike other horrible campaigns with too much content.
that sounds like a problem.
Ig, did you eat something that caused a blockage? Your nose is bleeding and
Just
you
a
started
little, yes.
speaking in
Actually,
static
it does
just
that
then.
all the time, constantly. Just bleeding all the time. Just gushing out for no.
Have you been
Well,
to
I
see
mean,
a
it's
healer?
the year 1100. You should see somebody.
All right. I've seen 5 people right now. Yes, 5 people right now.
Do you want me to heal you?
No, that's okay. It makes the slurry taste good. That would have been one we would have cut. Sorry.
Gross.
See?
Because his
That
nose is
would've been
clogged,
one
so
we
he
would've-
can't taste it.
Sorry.
Healing
My
also
apologies.
causes a blockage.
You didn't hear
I
it.
can't be that. See, I should have gone with poop jokes. That's what happens, Angela, when you give us crap for the poop.
Yep, I gave you crap for the poop jokes, Logan.
And this is when we were banned from Twitch.
No,
You
I
can
think-
get banned
I
from
don't
Twitch
think-
for poop jokes.
I
or
don't think we're gonna get
the
banned
whole
from
world is in
Twitch.
trouble.
I'm just expecting the follower number to go down. People will actively demand we pay.
Why
them
are
back
we
for the
watching
subscription.
this?
Why are we watching this? Because we promise
Sorry.
it gets better in the podcast. Go back and listen to that.
This is all
I'm not
exposition,
re-editing.
folks. All exposition.
This is all part of the plan.
Wait. Are we claiming
setting
we're
it-
going to be more on task next time?
We're
Because
just
I
setting
have
the
no
bar
doubts.
No,
really low.
I said if you want to hear
Really
if
low.
you want to hear it well done, go back to the podcast. But we can edit out the horrible jokes, Logan.
All right, so it's
Yes.
we're gonna go after this glove. It's Mithril
Yes,
glove.
the glove.
Between
yes,
today and 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, somewhere in between there. But Roman's gonna come to you and send you on this quest, heading you off to Alaris to see Susan the Less.
To fetch this
All right.
tea glove.
Yes, this glove that can summon tea. It's the I think they call it the Infinite Tea Gauntlet.
Yes, I've read about that.
Yes,
I hate you, Logan.
and they're evidently it can summon pastries as well.
Okay,
Oh.
I'm in.
The Infinite Tea Scone. 5 of them at a time, all different colors and flavors.
God damn it.
Emperor Nothas, that was the guy's name.
Nothas?
Nothas, yes.
Right. Never heard of them.
Got it.
Anyways, I'm finishing up this story's hitting me hard, and I only have 2 modes. Block did not, so excuse me for a moment.
It's gonna take you a
Lock
while.
and flow.
That's all right. Ebb and flow. That's the name. Never
That
mind.
is not the name of this episode.
No,
Let's say.
that's the name on the wall of the toilet.
Those are the two restrooms, ebb and flow.
See, I'm getting better. I caught myself. All right.
Anyway.
All right. So good luck to you, and we'll see you. Well, if you survive, don't forget to come see me before you leave. I'll have a box of something for you.
Oh, excellent.
right.
More saltwater taffes?
Saltwater what now?
Saltwater taffes.
Whatever was left in the box, I have no control over.
Right.
The paperwork was left in
Except
the
that
box.
one time I had a little control over. 72 years. You'd think I'd learn how not to put something in a box that didn't. Oh well.
I think
There's
you
always
lost
hope.
a year.
73 years. I started when I was 4.
100?
I
Just put a 4-year-old in front.
That's what happens when you smoke. Don't smoke. It makes you look like this when you're 74. And it gives you blockages.
If you were 4, then wouldn't you have to be 77?
Yes, but I was only there for 73 years.
What do you
And I
think they put a
smoked a lot. Are
baby
you
in
not
charge
paying
of a
attention?
lost?
It was the smoking. The smoking and the meth. Don't do it.
I'm not canonical. Ig's not a meth head.
That's another
he
one that
was.
would have been cut.
It would have been cut.
If
See?
we were doing the podcast.
Can't talk about. Well, this is the only time we're going to talk about that. From now on, it's just.
No,
like
it's
the-
not. Don't even lie. You know it's gonna happen more than once.
What? Saying that we would have cut it in the podcast?
Yes.
All right,
It's
fine.
now part of our charm.
We are not Moyles, so just wanted to get that out there.
Nice, Kyle. Nice.
And if you want to leave us a tip, you can do so down below.
So I didn't push play, but I think I might have woken Andy up with that
I don't know what's going on.
God anymore.
I don't. I really don't know what's going on.
Circumcision jokes. Circumcision jokes are always funny.
Oh,
Wow,
fucking
okay.
God. Okay.
Yeah, let's go find it.
You maybe you should rest. It seems like
I
the
will as
story
soon as
isn't
I get to
saying-
the bathroom.
You have until 2.
No.
They have those nice long bathtubs here against the wall.
Those are the sinks where they clean out the bean bags.
No, the ones that are lower down.
I don't know what they use those for.
Right. Well, have a good one, Egg. Enjoy your rest of your day. We'll see you around.
Bye.
All right, I'll see you around.
Adelaide doesn't move. Just waits for him to leave.
He gets up and he leaves. Slowly. Painfully slowly.
Remind me never to use the bathroom next to Lost and Found.
It's actually quite nice. They accounted for, Ig's predispositions. So there is a constant prestidigitation. It smells like lilacs. And
An adamantine toilet.
I was going there. Thank you.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
I feel like that happened, right? That just happened. I didn't start hallucinating, or the caffeine didn't kick in into my.
No, that happened.
No, that actually happened, yeah.
Okay, that.
So should we go see Robin?
Well, then they'd. Yeah, I would,
You may
but
as
I'm pushy, so. How about we and if everybody wants to go with me to the Birchfield, we can just rush him
well. I mean,
for work.
sure.
He's already part of the Birchfield team.
Ha ha, Arthur, very good.
What?
It's a
What?
college joke.
Ah. Never went to college.
Me neither.
I did.
Bonnie did.
That's right, with all the swords.
Top of my class.
I was homeschooled.
I was second.
I don't know what that means.
Is that like the middle child?
In my class.
Oh.
Well, I mean, out of I was a class of 1, so it wasn't hard to be top of my class.
It's
It was
fine.
only me.
I had to steal my way to the top. I still haven't gotten there.
We're working on it.
You are?
The collective we are working on it. In our own ways. I feel like
Technically.
Right.
I feel like I just stumbled into some code I'm not supposed to talk about that I didn't know existed.
Sorry, Thieves' Cant is a very nuanced language.
All right, I'm sorry if I offended or created a false
Water under
impression.
the bridge.
Even with comprehend languages, I still can't speak or understand it.
Neither can most people that speak it.
Good to know. Shall we?
Yes, we should, because it got really quiet in here. The music is just ended, and we should go.
Someone forgot to put a coin in the jukebox.
Why isn't it
Heavens.
looping?
Bonnie, can you play us out?
I can absolutely play us out, and Bonnie will start playing her violin as we start moving on.
All right,
We
as you
can
guys
each play the bell on the way out.
as you guys head out into the cold, there is a postman that is putting up postings on the signs, the signboards near you, and it is a beautiful printed flyer with color, like 4 or 5 different colors on it, that has this gorgeous border around it, all just very intricately hand detailed. And underneath it, it says memorial service open to the public. And above it has a photo of the front of this sort of dome-like a creature with dozens of little tentacles coming underneath it. And it says memorial service open to the public for Winston's the Flumph. And it's tomorrow afternoon.
God.
Oh,
I kind of feel
That's-
like we should go.
Nope. you
no,
don't.
I feel the
Nope.
exact
Return to the
opposite.
scene of a crime? No.
Nope.
I think we should avoid that at all costs.
To be
know,
held
Val,
at the
there's-
Birchfield Institute.
God damn it.
Oh, damn.
And that's where we're going to end for the night.
Yeah. Val points to the Birchfield Institute line.
And that's what
Cut
we're
to
gonna end.
black.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you for coming along on this crazy journey as we got back into our characters and started to remember where the hell we are and what we're doing. Thank you all for feigning as much surprise as possible when I reintroduced the Infinite Tea Gauntlet.
You killed me with the scones.
I thought we talked about that last time, but I don't think
I forgot
I
about the
completely
scones.
forgotten
The,
about the scones.
we had recorded one episode that will never be released because we're redoing it here. I was trying to come up with something different, but nothing I could come up with was as good as the Infinite Tea or as topical as the Infinite Tea Gauntlet.
Like
except
an
for the
ointment.
slurry. The slurry's a little topical. Not for internal use,
Ooh.
I think is what that disclaimer says. And creates blockages. That is where we're going to
I
end.
couldn't read the waiver.
We really,
That said,
really
"Do
appreciate
not
you all being
ingest."
here. So come back. Well, come back in the next couple of weeks, not for this show, but for other shows. With next week at this time, 7:00 PST, Kyle Gold from Tavern Tales Podcast is going to be running a D&D one-shot with a bunch of community members.
Kyle Beta?
And then earlier in that day, Matthew Siebert, I believe, is running a one-shot with community members. And then we're going to be running a bunch of different things. If you are a fan of Countless Heroes, you can join us on 420 for a prequels game I will be running when we have Heather, Tessa, and Kyle, maybe? I don't remember if Kyle. No, Zach. I think it's Zach. Zach,
Yeah, I don't remember
Angela,
who's in it.
Andy. I can't remember if Kyle made it in or not. I don't know if you said you can make that there or not. If you said you can make it, I believe you're in it. So, but it's a 420 game. We're gonna have a bunch of. Oh, it's Michael. We're gonna have a bunch of the CH people playing their characters from the prequels that have been talked about in game several times. So we'll be doing that. So we will see you very, very soon. Wait, are you not, Matthew? Did I screw that up?
No, he is, but we haven't actually sent out the schedule to everyone yet.
Oh,
You jumping the gun, Logan.
You
Kyle
jumped
Golden
ahead.
sees- we talked about letting them know before the weekend was over, but I guess we didn't. Sorry.
Well, Kyle Gold knew his because that was the only
Yeah.
time he could do it. I hadn't actually
Right.
given Matthew a heads up
Well, I
yet.
locked him in for the Matthew. Sorry. Thank you for our song, for our subscriber song. It was amazing and wonderful. And we have anyway, all sorts of craziness. We got more craziness coming, and yeah, that's it. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and play our video again and then let it roll out. We don't have our credits set up for this yet, but we will get them.
Do you
Yeah.
while the intro's running, do you wanna raid or anything? We have
Yeah,
12
I'll set up a raid while the outro is running, and we will we'll find somebody to raid. All right, guys, thank you very much, and we will see you very soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks for coming and sticking around.
Bye.